All right, this is our group presentation for the technology survey results as presented by Samantha Clark, Michaela Haywood, myself, John Haro, and Katie St. Pierre. So this is a breakdown of the questions that we asked. We started by assessing the demographics, such as what grade they're in, their ethnicity, the household size and primary languages, and then we transitioned to asking questions about the familiarity with technological use at home as well as academically. So such questions as, what age they began using a computer or tablet for fun, and then moving on to how comfortable they are with using programs like Google Docs.
All right, so here are results for our demographics. So 51% of students are Hispanic, Latinx, or I'm going to pronounce that last one wrong, Chicanx?
Chicanx.
Yeah, thank you. And then we have 40.4% of students speak Spanish at home, 10.5% of students speak Somali at home. So we always have a very diverse demographic within our schools. The effects, they ensure to provide essential documents in Spanish and Somali utilizing district translation services. So basically, we want to make sure that not only our students, but also our parents are able to understand what is happening within the school, whether that's through their homework or just informational things like when there isn't school or things like that. And then utilize translation services such as a translator or app like Talking Points for home communication, since 96.5% of students' parents have a smartphone. So basically just being able to translate everything into your home language to eliminate any sort of communication errors or miscommunication.
All right, so looking at the students' home life, we found that all students have access to internet at least sometimes, so they do have some access, but 21.1% of guardians confirmed to have achieved a high school diploma or higher. 33.3% live in home with 6 or more people, so we're seeing that may be causing some of the problems with access to internet or internet speed or connectability. 96.5% of guardians use technology at least sometimes. So some are often, some are sometimes. Effects. So to ensure that physical walkthroughs for technology and programs are made available in multiple languages and sent home, a lot of the problems that we're seeing are that kids are not able to use the programs or the tech that they are given. So even though all the students have access to internet and they all have a device, they're having problems using the device or connecting or using the programs themselves. So also ensuring resources for college are made available. Again, those translation tools will take effect there. And then what are your education prospects? So when asking the kids what their plans are for college after high school, most of them want to see some kind of college, want to get some kind of college education, but then we're finding that most of the parents do not have a college education. So that could possibly present a challenge for those students.
My neighbors. Okay. So also technology familiarity. So a big chunk of our survey was just assessing how familiar parents and students were using technology, whether that be at home for general day-to-day things or academically. And then we did find again that most parents do use technology. Not all of them are super familiar with how to use a lot of essential tools. So when we look at the students' comfortability, 42.1% of students are entirely comfortable using school portals. So that's what they reported, as we see up here. But we do see that 35.1% only understand some of the tools. So maybe they can access their school portal, they can access their homework, but they don't understand some of the tools provided, like the resources the instructor might provide, announcements or materials that they might provide as extra resources. And then we have a large chunk, so 21.1% of students saying that they can use it but don't understand most of the tools, many of the tools. And then we've got a sliver here that are not comfortable at all. So we do need to address those instead of assuming that our students are comfortable with technology because they were born into a tech era. So 38.6% of students are comfortable using school email. I'm sure that we see that often where there's a large percent of students who don't see the emails, don't respond to emails, don't see announcements that are sent out by instructors. So we would need to address that. And then only about 2/3 are comfortable using Google Docs. 63% are comfortable using Google Slides. 36.8% are comfortable using Google Sites. So that was something that we addressed in a project and in our IKEA instructions of how to access that since students aren't comfortable. And then 56.1% do not always know what to do when their computer is not working. So that's a large percentage of students that do not know how to troubleshoot their provided technology. So even though they have the technology, they don't know how to use it or what to do when things are going wrong. So we need to refresh students on the utilization of school portals in multiple languages. So our students that are multilingual learners or have parents who don't speak English so that they can access the school portals and grades and so forth. We need to model the use of new tools and provide visual instructions for students who need to review. So instead of just telling students, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to make a Google Slides presentation, go. Walk them through the tools, walk them through how to do that. Because even though we're comfortable with it and we can assume that they were born into a technological era, they aren't realistically comfortable with these things. And then we also need to provide resources for what to do when commonly used programs or hardware are not working. So whether that's a number they can call, an email, or a help desk that they can email, or even common troubleshooting errors for their technology, making sure that they're aware of what to do. All right. So that is our results from our technology survey results. So the numbers that we got and what we think we should do going forward. A lot of those results were found that our students are a lot less comfortable with technology than we were aware of. And a lot of them, even though they speak English very well, learn best in their primary language. So it may be beneficial to provide resources in both languages.
Mm-hmm. Or even teach them how to translate our regular platforms into their home language as well. That's